Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Earlier today, did a quick flash video on Nicola Sturgeon and her deleted WhatsApps and the fact that she has now been reported to the Metropolitan Police. I wanted to do that in full. Unfortunately, I was sitting in the car in the Asda car park when I saw the story. So hey ho, I knew I couldn't do the full one then to do it justice. Although justice is not something that I don't think Nicola Sturgeon will ever face, unfortunately. But I thought we'll get back and we'll do the story in full because it is very interesting, and I think it needs to be looked at in the round. So it's a very busy news day, but this definitely is a step in the right direction if we can trust the Met to do their job. Although the Met themselves are, by all reports, a pretty awful police force. But at least the SNP can't cast their baleful influence over it. Let's take a look, see what is going on. Here goes. So, Nicola Sturgeon reported to Met Police over her deleted WhatsApp messages. Officers from Scotland Yard in London, and not Police Scotland or the Crown Office, will now consider claims the former First Minister has lied under oath at the UK COVID inquiry. Now, we said at the time she has most definitely perjured herself. I did the video the other day saying that what she said was true and absolute perjury. And now she's been reported and they are going to investigate. And of course, if it is perjury, she can face up to 7 years in jail just for that offence. Never mind all the other things. So it's a start. Nicola Sturgeon has been reported to the Metropolitan Police over claims she lied to the UK COVID inquiry in her evidence about WhatsApp messages. The former First Minister was finally forced to confirm that she had deleted all her informal communications from the pandemic. And if you remember, she originally said she didn't have any, then she said they were only minor and not important, and then Liz Lloyd came out and said, no, we were making decisions. And then she said that she'd handed over all the relevant ones, and it turns out she hasn't handed over any. It's one whole huge tissue of lies. And the trouble is, she thinks because she can get away with it under Scottish law, that it doesn't apply to her under UK law. Unfortunately, I think she forgot where she was. She may physically have been in Scotland, but she was under the aegis of a UK inquiry and therefore under UK law. Deary, deary me. And what's worse, of course, is she can't phone up Dorothy Bain and say, sort this one out for me. She can't phone up Joe Farrell and say, let's make a deal. She will have to face the music under a police force for which she has no control whatsoever and who are not beholden to the SNP. This should prove interesting, shall we say. Anyway, she told the lead inquiry counsel, Jamie Dawson KC, on January the 31st, I'm absolutely sure that you would be able to take messages and go to the corporate record, go to the public statements that were made at the time and see all of that reflected. But a Freedom of Information request submitted by the pro-UK think tank These Islands and published last week by the Scottish Government revealed there to be 0 messages recorded in the ERDM, the Electronic Record and Document Management System. Now, at that point, I did that video on that last week, and I said at that point, she's perjured herself. And I did say that. I said, now, whether I also pointed out I didn't think anything would come of it. Said, but I did, and you can go back and check what I said in that video. I did also say that the trouble was, I think she's forgotten because the UK COVID inquiry is not under Scottish law, it's under UK law, and therefore she's committed perjury to a UK court. I didn't know how quickly, if anything would happen, if it would happen. And now it's happened. And here we are, just a few days later, and the Met Police have been asked to investigate her perjury. Boy, oh boy, is this good. A police report submitted to the Met and seen by the Sunday Mail has called for an investigation into the apparently conflicting statements. It says, giving evidence to the UK COVID-19 inquiry when it sat in Edinburgh last month, Ms Sturgeon confirmed she had deleted her WhatsApp messages, though she stressed this was in line with official advice and she said, all salient points were placed on the corporate record. However, it's been revealed by the FOI that she did not transfer any messages to be placed on the corporate record. And if I just interrupt there, I said, remember the Liz Lloyd thing where they confirmed they were making decisions on WhatsApp, meaning there were salient, important messages. And thus, perjury. Anyway, they carry on. They said, this can mean nothing other than Miss Sturgeon lied whilst under oath at the UK COVID-19 inquiry when giving evidence on the 31st of January 2024. This is an offence that should be investigated. And damn right it should. And like I say, it's not under Scottish law. It's not under the jurisdiction of the Scottish police. It's not under jurisdiction of the Scottish legal system. Bain and Farrell can sit back and watch in horror as potentially Nicola Sturgeon is prosecuted for perjury. Scottish Conservative Chairman Craig Hoy, MSP, said, this is a very serious complaint and it highlights just how concerned and angry many Scots are about the actions of the former First Minister and how desperate they are for answers. Despite promising transparency, Nicola Sturgeon engaged in the mass deletion of WhatsApp messages, despite having promised to make them public, and her credibility now lies in ruins. She should now commit to a full statement to Parliament on this scandalous situation, and if she remains unwilling to share the truth about her government's decision-making during the pandemic, grieving families will be left with no other choice but to escalate the situation to get the answers they deserve. I would suggest just jailing her for the remainder of her life and make sure that she never ever again walks the streets and is able to lie so barefacedly to everyone about everything. The Freedom of Information request from Sam Taylor, Chief Executive of these islands, asked for a monthly breakdown of the number of WhatsApp messages sent or received by the former First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, which were transferred to the Scottish Government's ERDM system. And the response revealed that 0 WhatsApp messages had been recorded from Sturgeon, from USAF, from Swinney, or from Freeman, or even from the former Finance Secretary, Kate Forbes. However, on the Kate Forbes one, I'm not surprised. She was outside the loop. She wasn't in the Gold Command or whatever they called those meetings. And she was very much seen as an outsider. They didn't trust her because she was so religious and was so dedicated to, truth, honesty and openness, apparently and allegedly. I'm not entirely sure I believe all that, but they did. And that was enough for them to keep her outside of the loop. During the COVID inquiry, Sturgeon stressed that she did not use informal messaging to make decisions. And that we know is a lie. And she said, informal communications were not in any sense extensive or meaningful, a part of how I conducted business in any way, but certainly not to reach decisions. And I would say that in relation not just to COVID, but to government generally. Oh dear, that also has been proved to be a lie. It's lies, heaped upon lies, heaped upon lies. They cannot help themselves. A spokeswoman for Miss Sturgeon said the obligation is to ensure that any salient points and messages are recorded on the corporate record. This was done. The fact that the messages themselves are not held does not mean that relevant or salient information within them was not properly recorded. Yes, it does. Stop lying. Now you're getting your spokesperson to lie. If there's no recorded message, it means there was nothing put on the record. Nobody deletes the records from government, which is why you weren't putting them on there. And that, again, is lies heaped upon lies. One day, these people will have to be held to account, either in a court or by the mob. I know which they would prefer, but I know which we would prefer. The Met Police confirmed it had received the complaint. Let's hope they investigate fully. Coming up. Please, 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 please let this happen. Please let this happen. Please let the police investigate. Please let the police find the evidence. Bring her to court. Charge her. Prosecute her. Convict her. Jail her. I don't care how long for. It doesn't matter. Once you've got her jailed and convicted of perjury, she can never ever be seen as an honest broker again, which means if she goes to court ever again for any offence and given the perjury on the books, she can be immediately treated as a hostile witness. And that is not where you want to be, because you can be led as a hostile witness. A prosecutor can lead you. It's allowed. It's a wonderful thing. And also the fact that when she sits there and swears on oath at a court hearing, any jury will automatically think, well, she swore the oath before, seemed to be meaningless then, and they will automatically have it in their mind that she's lying, and so she'll get her just desserts if there's a jury trial. Oh, God, it's given me the fizz. Anyway, I should stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and let us totally enjoy the day, knowing that Nicola Sturgeon has got yet another worry on her head, only this time she can't make phone calls to sort it out. Delicious. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.